So now what do I do? Well, I guess there's only one thing. There's something I'd like to know. Are you real? Can you feel?
Hi friends, welcome to my channel. I'm Prairie Vintage. My name is Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirit, my intuition, the tarot to communicate energies to you guys, most fabulous viewers. If you guys are new here and you just found me, welcome. I'm so glad that you found me, and I hope that you guys stay, subscribe, like, and that this reading resonates for you guys. For those of you guys who are returning, I am so blessed. I'm so grateful, and I can't wait to do your reading again. Thank you so much. I'm super excited because generally the topics through here are quite heavy. You know, how we can improve, heal, looking at our tougher energy or shadow and that sort of stuff. So it has been quite heavy to channel that sort of information. So I just put out to spirit that I wanted something a little more uplifting. And to process what we can look forward to in regards to what sort of obstacles are being removed, what is going well, so that we can get motivated and see the work that we've been doing and how far we've come. So I do intend on this reading being quite uplifting, but I never know what we see until I channel. Okay, I channel exactly as I see it. And so sometimes difficult messages do come through. If it's something that you're not resonating with, don't take that message. Okay, it should be something that is confirming your intuition. This isn't for new revelations that are sort of taking you off guard. If that's the case, then this isn't your reading, at least not how I channel information. Okay, it should really be resonating with what you already know and confirm a lot of your intuition. So this will be a pick a card reading with 4 options to choose from. And these are the decks I'll be using. I'll put a link right here to the deck playlist for these decks so that you guys who are interested in the cards in these decks can go take a look. And if you're wanting to energetically charge these cards for future readings, I do suggest you sit through the card reveal and charge the cards. Okay, energy has no boundaries, so you can certainly sit with that video and sit through the card reveal. And like I said, it really is about energetically intending on charging the cards for future readings, so that way your readings do resonate a little bit better here in this channel. Okay, so I'll remove the cards that are not a part of this pick, and then we will get into the 4 options. One moment. All right, so we'll be doing a sound bit as well for each of these options for those of you guys who are clairaudient and want to choose other than just through visual. So for option number 1, we have the Aquarian Tarot. Option number 2, we have the Zillich Tarot. Option number 3, we have the Out of Hand Tarot. Option number 4, we have the Prisma Visions Tarot. All right, so I'm going to pause the video and then we'll get into your sound portion of this pick. One moment. Option number 1 for the Aquarian Tarot, here's your sound. Option number 2 for the Zillich Tarot, here's your sound. Option number 3 for the out of hand tarot. Here's your sound. Option number 4 for the Prisma Visions Tarot. Here's your sound. So beautiful angels, sit with these 4 options. Take as long as you need. If you're still stuck, close your eyes, open your eyes. Whichever one first calls to you will most likely be your pile. And I will see you guys at your pick. Pile number 1, you guys pick the Aquarian Tarot. And we're looking at the obstacles being removed. So what's opening up in your pathway here? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 1, spirits. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 1. Pile 1, I'd like to thank your higher self, spirit team, spirit guides, angels, ancestors, interdimensional beings, and of course, spirit for this act of divination. Thank you so, so much. We're so blessed to be here, and please help me to channel in a way that pile 1 will understand for the greatest and highest good of pile 1. What obstacles are being removed? We see the Queen of Swords. I am putting it back because I didn't quite finish my question, but we'll take it into consideration. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. What obstacles are being removed for pile number 1? Wow, jumpy cards wanting to come out. We have the 6 of Wands, the 4 of Cups. Pull one more. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 1. What obstacles are being removed? What is clearing up for pile 1 at this time? Thank you, Spirit. What is being removed or opening up or clearing up for pile number 1? Thank you so much. We'll pull one of these as well. What is clearing up in the pathway for pile 1? Okay. We have your goodness with 12. And we have the 2 of Swords. Now, it was wanting to come in reverse, so I do feel it's that way. I'm going to channel this energy for you, pile number 1. Give me a moment. So we have some Pisces energy here. And Libra. That's what I'm feeling. Pile number 1. I feel it's been an energy of maybe feeling like you haven't been really winning. Okay. Winning as in on top of your game, maybe being seen, maybe things have been going in a way that's make you feel like, I don't know, like the universe hasn't been on your side, or you've been forgotten about, maybe not recognized in regards to your efforts. Because I do feel like you could be in an energy that's been like, it doesn't matter how much I've been sort of doing. I haven't been getting the recognition I deserve. Okay, I don't feel this is coming from a place here that's not deserving, because I do feel like your intention and your efforts have been valiant. I think you have been maybe really focused on succeeding, being seen, and getting recognition, being maybe paid for your work, or maybe you've been trying to achieve some sort of role in your workplace, or be chosen for promotion. And it's like, it doesn't matter what I seem to do, it's never coming to me, the reward or the recognition or the pay. So what's being removed here, I do feel, is that energy in which others might be taking you for granted, potentially not expressing to you how much you mean to them. Okay, this could be coming from a community of people. This could be coming from a specific individual. This could be coming from your family, your friends. And for some of you guys, it could be identifying where you are valued. So aligning yourself with that in which does recognize your value. And so some of you guys might be, surrounding yourself with different people, maybe even looking to a different workplace or community, and understanding your own value, understanding what is going to support you, what does feel like it honors your success here in some way. Because I do feel like you're tired of not being seen or appreciated or undervalued or celebrated. Yeah. And so I think some of you guys might even be coming across an experience in which something does pay off, or it's going to be difficult for those around you to not see some sort of success that you're having. And yeah, like they can't sort of sweep it under the carpet. Like, I don't know what success this is, but it could be you're coming into maybe a vast amount of money, or maybe it is you're achieving something at work, like land a big contract, or I don't know, there's some sort of recognition that you are going to be getting, and where others maybe have underestimated you or undervalued you. Or it could even be because of this, other employers might even be reaching out to you as like they see your success, where your current employer might have not have been, and then they're wanting to sort of headhunt you or recruit you. Now, this could also apply to relationships, or maybe you've been sort of taken for granted, and maybe you experience a situation here where others might be more appreciative of your effort and your energy, and recognizing where you are of value. And it's like, why do I need to sort of stay here or settle here or be in an environment that doesn't see me or recognize my worth? And so I think it becomes apparent to you, your own value. Because I think for some of you guys, you might have been doubting like your own ability or your own confidence, or it's been really getting to your self-esteem. Like, maybe I am not as good as I think, or, like whatever this is. Like, if you're in like a sales role, it's like, maybe I'm not as good as a salesperson as I thought I was. Or like, if you're in a relationship, it's like, okay, maybe things aren't as bad here, or I have to sort of settle here in some way, or not speak up about what is bothering me in some way here. But I think having this experience, whatever it is for all of you guys, like I said, it comes in form of a different way, but it's like I can now see the difference. I now have the contrast, or at least there's a full understanding that's like, okay, this is clearly undervaluing me and my value. So it does allow you to make different decisions. I think for some of you guys, it's a little too late. It's like it's a little too late, you know? And I think you guys might have other offers coming in as a result of knowing your self-value. And at that point in time, it's like, yeah, it's a little too late for me to sort of stay and try to make something work or be recognized when it's coming at you from a different sort of place. Now, for some of you guys, if you have been in a headspace here where it's like only seeing the downside of your situation, like really, really feeling like not seen, not appreciated, and not valued, you might just be learning to understand that it's your own value that you place on yourself that matters. You know, if it's, let's say, a situation that you can't get out of, you know, like not a workplace that you could just sort of leave, or maybe you are signed to a contract, you got to stay there, or like a family situation where there's really no escape, let's say. It's like your understanding of your own value doesn't rely on whether other people are sort of coming out to tell you or to value or show you. And I think maybe it had an impact on your self-esteem. It's like if other people aren't seeing it or saying it or appreciative of it, then it means I am, you know, less than, or I'm not feeling energetically motivated, or even like I'm winning in situations. So it could really weigh you down. It could even like have been something that limited just your visibility of like what you can do, what is within your capability. Maybe having motivation to, sorry guys, my phone, maybe having motivation to make decisions in your world, like, you know, kind of like when we feel discouraged, it's like nothing really seems like it, I don't know, we just sort of lose that headspace. It's like I'm not motivated to improve myself or to make new decisions or to get fired up to explore certain new things. We could get really stuck in a rut, you know, discouraged, feeling just like not seen, sort of really hard on ourselves, not seeing our own value. All this is going to change. Okay. And if anything else, like you'll see your own value. And by doing this, you sort of rise above this energy to be recognized by those. So you'll be getting appreciation one way or another. Okay. I don't know if it's going to be from the same individuals that maybe, you know, were not as aware or taking you for granted. Or if this comes from a different source as a result of you sort of shifting your energy here. I feel like wherever you have been feeling maybe weighed down by this energy, it is going to shift for you, which then you start to really see your next move or what is open for you, or clearly understand your own worth. And so decisions start to become a lot easier. And I think your decisions align more with your choice, like all about your needs, what you want, where you want to align. And I think maybe in the past it was like people pleasing to the point where maybe it was like it didn't matter what I would do, how much of the weight I'd pick up, how much out of the way I'd go to get approval or to please others or to make the environment good for others. It's like you still felt unseen, or like people didn't take that that in a way that would, make you feel like they identified your compromise or your efforts. Yeah, I don't know why the shift happens. For some of you guys, like I said, maybe you land a big contract, maybe you come into some money, maybe you start getting recognized by like the competition. Now this could be in relationship or in like a workplace, and it becomes known. Or like, I don't know, if let's say you're in a relationship, it's like that person observes somebody sort of hitting on you, or like that you do have other options, that you're not sort of stuck to that situation. And unfortunately, people don't know what they have until it's sort of at risk. And that's sort of what I see here, And so then this shifts energy. And I think it might even shift your confidence, saying, well, I am desirable and I am able to have other things. I don't have to stick with situations where I'm not being seen, I'm not paid enough, or I'm not valued, or I'm not appreciated. Now, some of you guys might be involved in the public in some way. Like if you have a platform, maybe you have like a following, or you started a business, you're looking for clients. Maybe it's a new job in which you're having to build a client list or something like this. I feel like this is shifting, where you might have been feeling like no matter how much content I put out there, I'm not seen, or I haven't landed that big contract, so my employer's like just sort of lumping me in with everyone else. And I do feel this is about to change. So maybe it's like you have that one video that takes off, or you come across the right client that gives you exposure here, or you partner up with someone that gives you the right exposure, or you're seen by the right people, or you just place your ad somewhere where it sort of takes off. There seems to be something that opens up here for you, and it does seem to be right timing, because that keeps coming through. It's like in the Rider-Waite's Smith Tarot, there's like a hand from the cloud coming with all the aces, and all the aces is like out of nowhere. The universe comes and presents an opportunity. So it is universe driven, like divine timing, or like something that maybe was unexpected. It just sort of appeared out of nowhere. And so I feel like there's appearing out of nowhere. Now, of course, this doesn't mean you didn't work hard for your position, even if you were underpaid or not seen, or like trying to make things work, grind wherever you were. It does feel to be, of course, nothing is ever out of nowhere so much, because I do feel it was a manifestation. Okay, but I feel like even if you've been feeling heavy, because I do feel there's been an energy of just disappointment, and we could carry that energy, and then it's like hard to manifest it, because it's like I'm not enthused, I feel discouraged, my confidence is at a low, like how can I manifest, and so I feel like your spirit team, spirit guides are sort of coming out of nowhere to boost up your confidence, to show you that it's like you are valuable, you are desirable, you are more than that, in which maybe others have been projecting onto you, or your lived experience has been one that's like, no matter what I'm doing, like I just feel not seen. And it doesn't matter if I think my content is good, or how much door knocking I'm doing here in my business to like move the needle. It's been discouraging, to say the least, and so we start to question, like, our product. We start to question our capability. We start to question our worth. We start to question ourselves. And it's like, it could be like a spiral here of like, maybe I'm not seeing things accurately. Maybe I am missing something. Maybe this product isn't as good, or maybe my content is crappy or something like this, which we can do. So there seems to be a lot here about how you perceive self as well, which is going to shift. I feel like there's an honoring yourself. So choosing yourself, self-love, self-appreciation. And I do feel this builds on your momentum. So I do feel like where you've been less inspired, this is going to shift. I feel like, maybe you haven't been as motivated lately, and this is about to shift. I think you're going to see clearly your value. So your decisions are different. It's like, I don't have to make those choices or settle in a way like when we think we're, we need to do something. Maybe we're desperate to partner up, or we're lowering our bar, or we're taking less than we deserve. And it's like that sort of an energy is about to shift. It's like, no, I know my self-worth. And so if you needed to hold out for a better role or more money or something, it's like, that is where I'm aligning with, because I understand that I am of value, and I could see beyond this experience that maybe in this situation, I've been surrounded by people who haven't acknowledged or appreciated or capable of paying me what I'm worth. Okay, whatever this payment is, money, accolades, supporting you in however they could. So let's pull some oracle cards and dive into this energy a little bit more. I'm going to just pause and check my phone for 1 sec. I'll be right back. Okay, pile number 1. Let's pull some of your oracle cards and see. Spirit, for pile number 1, what is opening up in this pathway for pile number 1? What energy is opening up for pile number 1? You guys have make it look like the Knight 53. So I do feel like there is an energy of maybe like being in an environment for some time where you might feel like you had to, I don't know, it's like, when we are trying to be in the spotlight, this is sort of the opposite energy. It's like giving me blending in, feeling like, I should just read it from the book, but almost like feeling like, I don't know if you just sort of went inwards, if you sort of just removed yourself. Where is this? Over here. 53. It says, Priestess of the Night, when those who have vision in the darkness come out to celebrate the time of the moon, night is our necessary balance. Do not fear seeing what is unseen, and do not be afraid of what you see makes others feel uneasy. Do we put less value on that which is not sunshiny and bright? And we put a veil between the sun and the moon, between the darkness and the light. The night is just as much the truth as the sun. You can use your all-knowing to bring your knowledge to ultimate balance and the value of the unseen and those who only live in the daylight. The priestess of the night shows us the darkness to help us achieve temperance. So see, it talks a lot about that value I was talking about, because I don't know if you've just been surrounded by a lot of people that you started to believe the energy that they were off-putting. Like if we're always in an environment where like we're little, it's like we start to believe we're little, that sort of a thing. And I don't know, like it's hard to put this energy into words, but when things are all like big, like fireworks and that sort of a thing, then it's like, okay, that's like it's celebratory energy, it's big, it's shiny, and then it's like what happens in the mundane or everyday to day, which is more common, day to day. It's like, I don't know, maybe you were ignored, or maybe you had like you felt like you had to keep proving yourself or being like loud fireworks, It's like, unless I'm fireworks, unless I'm like big energy, I'll be ignored. I won't be seen. So you could have been in an energy of people pleasing, but I feel it's more than this, because it feels to me as like, no matter what I was doing, I wasn't being recognized. So it's like, how loud do I got to be, or how, like, it could be very exhausting. And so maybe you just sort of withdrew and, like I said, like blended in, and then felt like ignored or unseen. And then your belief of maybe how you saw yourself might have shifted based on how long you've been sort of in this environment. So I think you're definitely gaining a different understanding of your value here, okay, with the 53, which is 7, which is all about reflection, understanding, wisdom. And I'm getting that even from the Hangman energy, because it's like being able to see things differently, So rainbow transference with 21. I get from this is like your value being mirrored back to you. Rainbow to me is this 12 energy, because I get all the spectrum of colors. So it's not like one sort of track mind. Okay. And one track mind could be only in the light. It's positive. Only when there's fireworks, then it's a value. Only like really limited. This is like everything sort of can have value, or could be seen in a different way, which was required in order for there to be appreciation, So if you're in a situation, for some of you guys as well, this is coming through for this pile, is like, I was so stuck in seeing something one way, and if it wasn't going that way, then it's like it was crappy, or it was telling me something about myself or about the situation. It's like I can now see differently, or understand that there's more things of value here. Like, this is just an example, okay? Let's say you got a job, and it's like you really wanted the title, okay? Because you were like really wanting the title. It's like, I do it already. I want this title. And you might have been really focused on the title, that at a certain point, it's like, maybe the pay was good. Maybe you had really good benefits. You had like free membership at the gym. You had a good location. And maybe there's a lot of good things about this job too, But we could get really like focused on the thing that's not working, the thing that didn't work, and then get very, very, very discouraged. And then it's like the only thing we think about is like how horrible that place could be, So if it's more of an internal sort of energy that you've been housing about how you've been projecting outwards, I feel this is shifting. And I think it's a good thing, because it doesn't mean you're settling and saying this workplace sucks, so I'm just going to settle here anyway, because now I'm seeing it better. It's like, no, it's like I can see all of the things, even if I lost a contract, or maybe my title changed and I was disappointed about it, or I don't know. Or maybe we were in a relationship, but it's like, okay, maybe it's going from, being wooed, and now to just every day, like, how do I get along with people when there is no fireworks or sparks flying all over the place, and if we're like addicted to drama, or addicted to like arguments or something like this, it's like, that means there's more love or more passion or more, it's like, no, things are sort of evening out here in a way, but we could see the real value behind whatever maybe was a hard time. I got to pause your video again because I got to check the door. I'll be right back. All right, pile number 1. Let's continue your reading. So, sorry, I took a little bit of a break, but this rainbow transference, I think it's a giving and receiving here with 2 receptive sides. Because like I said, for some of you guys, there seemed to be your own energy maybe for some time that's been discouraged, and there's only so many disappointments we can carry, or a feeling of discouragement. And then we sort of shut down or withdraw or remove, because I was getting from this, make it look like the night, like we're just sort of feeling like I don't know, we're blending into the furniture or something, you know, or just like sitting amongst our environment, not, I don't know, like ignored almost, you know, or like passed over, not really seen, maybe feeling ignored. Something like this, like not recognized, not seen, not acknowledged, not appreciated. And this is like a giving and receiving, you know, with the other side. So I think your environment, the people that are going to be around you are definitely people who are going to be able to see your value and you see theirs, and the perspective sort of changing. I'm going to pull one more of these and then we'll get into the other oracle. So I'm seeing two here for you. We have under a spell with 50, and we have the sword with 77. 77 is a master number. Trust the fall, an adventure that arises from deep wisdom, trust of life, trust of self. Under a spell, I feel like the energy is definitely shifting for you. Because I'm feeling it both ways here. I don't know if there's like something specific, you know, that happens, because for some of you guys, like I was saying, like maybe it's like an opportunity to shift your environment in some way, and then it becomes people recognizing you and maybe like seeing you in a different way, you know, which I mean, not necessarily because now you have money or have this thing, but it's like, I don't know, it's something that comes as a result. Like, let's say you start to, you know, like get some sort of fame or recognition online, then it's like opens the door to other possibilities or people or something. And then it's like, you might have a certain group of people or a specific person that like looks at you and you're valued differently than how it has been. So it definitely could be having like an admirer, you know, a fan, a client that suits your language or something like this. But then I feel it's both sides. So you could certainly gain that zeal again, you know. I do feel there's a change in your environment, even if like it's the same workplace or the same community of people. It's like the energy has shifted and changed. And the sword is all about truth. And sometimes it could be like harsh truths, you know. Something very healing here as well with this Ouroboros, like the snake. It could be something spoken to restart, or something is seen so that something can restart or be healed over. So I think then we're able to maybe speak our truth, communicate more, maybe express certain things, or people express certain things to us. There seems to be more of a flow of energy between you and your environment, which I think works in your favor for sure. Okay, so let's see, what else? What are you surrendering here energetically in your energy field for pile one, Spirit? For pile one, what is clearing up here? We have surrender to your intuition. Tune into your inner voice. Beware of any gut feelings, flashes, knowings, or aha moments that come through to guide you. So I remember saying the universe was sort of putting in front of you some sort of, I don't know, blessing, opportunity. I think Spirit is talking about you being in tune with the right moment, and maybe to say something, or to take an opportunity, or to speak your piece, or to bring something into awareness that's going to shift the energy for you. So if you've been feeling very like routine, or like I said, almost unseen for so long, it's like your intuition is going to guide you at the right moments to speak up, or to make that change, or to, I don't know, like have an opportunity to address that energy. And we have surrender, decisiveness. Decisiveness is a sign Oh, not decisiveness. Oh my goodness. I was like, what? Defensiveness. Defensiveness is a sign of weakness. Wonder why I said that. 2, communicate in a more empowered way. Stay centered and hear someone out. Then offer a clear, non-defensive response. So this is all about indecision. I just said decisive, which the sword is all about decisiveness. I feel like with the 2 of Swords in the reverse, I feel you felt helpless, if we want to use that as a word, you know, like something's out of your hands, potentially. It's like I can't move either which way here, or something's been decided for me, or I'm not a part of the decision, not a part of the group that can make the decision, or the I'm looked over, something like this. Okay, but what I feel is there's an opportunity to communicate here a truth that allows things to shift. And then it allows the environment to understand you, get better. It clears up. It clears things up, you know? So maybe it's like walking on eggshells, not telling someone exactly how we've been feeling, not being able to, I don't know, really like engage, because maybe we just feel uncomfortable with where we've been placed, or just too many times being looked over, then we stop participating and whatever. But I feel like there is an opportunity for you to engage and maybe like understand the other perspective, because I'm really getting like this hangman, this rainbow, and this like stay centered, hear someone out. It's like both sides have to respect both sides here. And so maybe we start to see why things have been happening the way that they have been, especially with the sword. Surrender to prayer. Give yourself over completely to prayer. When you pray from your heart, you will be heard throughout the universe, and answers and support will arrive. That's exactly this hand. Like I said, it's like the universe hearing your prayers, or your manifestations sort of being answered. I think there's an opportunity for sure that comes seemingly out of nowhere, although it could be manifested. I think you have asked for help, support, and I feel like your guides are saying, pay attention, because when it comes, it might be out of the blue. It might be unexpected. It might be an opportunity for you to clear something up, or speak a piece, or someone reaching out with some sort of communication. But if we're feeling 4 cups, we might be a little defensive. We might be suspecting maybe that there's an ulterior motive, or maybe something like this we can't trust. But it's like, no, it's the opportunity to shift things here, you know? So I do feel it's going to shift pretty quickly for you. Let's see, for pile 1, what's opening up? What's opening up for pile number 1? What blocks are being removed? What's opening up here for pile 1? All right. Change. Beautiful. And look at this air balloon, which is giving me this 12 hangman, because it's like seeing things from a greater perspective of understanding, rising above. Okay, we have the clouds here, so it's like what might have looked confusing, or what might have been murky, or creating the confusion or the indecision. So I feel like your energy is rising above any situation here for you to see a bigger picture. And I think it's going to shift the energy for sure. And I think where you've been feeling limited, stuck, like you couldn't move, or like under the control of, I don't know, other people or your circumstance situation, I feel you're going to feel a lot more liberated. You know, free to make decisions, free to move, free to speak your truths, free to express yourself without maybe, I don't know, whatever you carried in the past here. I don't know if you were just limited to not being able to, or felt a certain way if you were to be communicating this. I just feel there's a change in energy, which shifts your environment and the people in it. Yeah, flow. So flow is the opposite of this sort of energy we were seeing, like feeling like things are out of your control, or like you're sitting on the sidelines. And I also feel like for some reason I'm getting like good luck or luck on your side. Like I said, it's almost like the universe is flowing in your favor, in your direction, and things are lining up here. It almost feels also like, I don't know, the calm before the storm. It's like everything's lining up here. Not the calm before the storm. What am I trying to say? It's like the flurry, the calm before the flurry, but the flurry's good. It's like everything's getting lined up for the flurry of change, or for you to get involved with something, because something shifts here. And I feel it shifts dramatically. So maybe there is a need for you to like gather yourself, you know, because there does seem to be big shifts and changes in front of you that might be requiring quite a bit of energy and effort. Wonders. Sorry, and then you have a crystal there. I don't know what sort of crystal that is. Amethyst? Amethyst is a very spiritual crystal. I don't know if that's what that is. I feel like this is all about this opportunity to work in new environments or with new energy. It's like if you've had people that were in one type of energy that was creating an environment that was difficult, it's like the shift, the change, the perspectives now change. And so now there's like a lot to be explored. There's an opportunity for sure for you to engage differently. And I feel it is really about the freedom to choose. Like what is in front of you is way more opportunity. What is in front of you is like being able to open whatever doors you kind of want to, conversations you want to have. Yeah, like it feels very freeing, very liberating. And you're like, I'm not stuck here. I'm not tied to this situation or this specific workplace or, again, environment, people, relationship, whatever you felt sort of at the mercy of, you know? So it does tend to open up here and it feels very beautiful. Pile number 1. So this is your reading. I hope this resonated for you guys, beautiful angels. If you were drawn to another pile, I will see you there. All right, bye-bye. Hello, pile number 2. You guys picked the Zillich Tarot, and we're asking Spirit what sort of blocks are being removed, what is opening up in your pathway. So let's take a look, shall we? Spirit, clear and concise message for beautiful pile number 2 regarding what blocks are being removed, what is opening up for them ahead. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 2. Pile 2, I'd like to take this time to thank your spirit team, your higher self, spirit guides, angels, ancestors, interdimensional beings, and of course, spirit for this act of divination. Thank you so, so much. Thank you, pile 2. I appreciate you being here. Clear and concise message regarding what blocks are being removed at this time. What is opening up for pile number 2? All right, I'll pull one of these and then we will get into your reading. What blocks are being removed at this time? Oh, everything was coming from the bottom. Interesting. Okay, so we have negative reinforcement pattern with 36 from the Blind Spot Oracle. That's the number 9. We have temperance. So we have Virgo, Cancer, and Sagittarius energy. And then we have the Ace of Swords. And then we have the Two of Cups, and it is in reverse. Okay, let me channel what this is about. Okay, pile number 2. I feel like if you guys have been trying to heal through a mindset that you've been sort of identifying, maybe you've been identifying patterns specifically in relationships or of self-sabotage somehow. Maybe you're identifying certain ways that might get in the way of what you want. Because I feel like, and I'm not only talking about like intimate relationships, but it could be like, I notice I do this when things get good. I sort of sabotage, or I get in the way of aligning myself with certain things that I know I'd want to experience. And then maybe I talk myself out of it, or I sabotage it, however you do this. So I feel like what's opening up for you is an ability for you to first see these patterns in action, or understand yourself a little bit better, and maybe stay more realistic. Like there could be like a real sort of negative self-speak that might talk you into a certain mind narrative that you start to believe about yourself or maybe situation. Like we can have this if we think, oh, I'm just not good enough for this, or this is going to go horribly, horribly bad, or this is what this means. And like we're sort of projecting into the situation or the circumstance. And then we start to act as though it's a reality. And then we make decisions that are sort of based in that reality rather than what's actually going on. This seems to be something here that you're starting to see and understand, that could really get in the way of you getting what you want or speaking your truth in relationships. This could be like in one specific area, like maybe it's like, let's say you're an artist and you've been really invested in your art, but then when it comes to making it a reality, or like publishing it on a website, or interviewing for the real deal or something, it's like, oh, I'm not ready for this, or not this time, or I don't want people to see it. This might not be good enough to pass, I don't know, the critic test, sort of just a side hobby, or like some sort of self-speak. Now, if this is in relationship, it could certainly sound like, I'm not ready to date because maybe I'm too unhealed, or I'm too, I don't know, like if it's not about yourself, then it's like an idea about what relationship might look like that keeps you out of dating or keeps you out of experiencing. But in the heart of it, it's like you really want to connect. You really want to be accepted. You really want to experience something, So you might have been doing something opposite from what you truly wanted to experience. And I feel like what's being removed here is your understanding clearly where you might play a role in that equation. So it's like, well, if I don't put myself out there, then of course I won't experience what it is that I want. Or if I'm responding in a way like this, of course this is going to get this sort of an outcome. And it's like, how do I understand myself enough so that I can put myself in a position to win, or to be seen, or to have the opportunity to connect with, it could really be for a lot of you guys, like around even like healing from a relationship, it's like maybe being seen or really expressing my needs in a relationship, like truly from a place that puts myself out there so that my partner can really understand me better, or my vulnerabilities, or my wounds, or what has happened in the past, or what I expect in a relationship that would feel reassuring, that would feel comforting, or the types of things that I would require in a relationship. And just putting that out loud, sometimes we fear, oh, if the other side doesn't like that, they might reject me. They might think I'm too needy. They might think I'm too emotional. They might think I'm whatever, and then we don't. And so we might dismiss our own needs, or we might not even entertain it. And I think that's the thing. It's like, I won't even put myself in that position, or I'll just assume that this is going to be the outcome. And therefore I won't even experience it, and we could shut down, or we just don't do the thing, And so I feel like you're more comfortable in your skin with self-expression. I think you're allowing yourself to experience maybe things in the past where you might have not have put yourself out there, or even given the time of day. So I do feel like connections could be getting a lot easier for you. Healing the part of you that might shut down at the time where expression is needed, or even, and maybe it's like, for some of you guys, like if you are in a relationship where when things aren't going good, or when there's tension, or when there's an argument, or when you guys are in different mindsets, or if there is like a communication that needs to take place, it's like I avoid it, or I just shut down, or I just even go along to please that person, but I suppress my need, or I'm too fearful to communicate what it is that I do want. And then things could get worse, like worse isn't, then I don't know. It's like, it's topics that are just being suppressed. Resentment builds. And then more arguments ensue, or there's ruminating. There's all sorts of things that might create more conflict down the road. And so it's like seeing the value of expressing what I'm feeling in the moment, even if it's like a tough conversation that I have to have, or just expressing a need that I have, or what I'm observing, maybe what I need from the other to do, or like what I'm experiencing here as a truth, and allowing myself to do so without maybe feeling guilty, or again, like that I would be judged or something like this. So I do feel there is harmonious expressions, and I do feel like your environment eases up, not as much tension. There is like working through things, maybe where in the past arguments took longer. Maybe, instead of maybe spending a couple days to regain our bearings, it's like we can resolve arguments or disagreements much sooner. We can get over certain things much sooner because we're able to express ourselves and work through it rather than maybe avoid it, or, wait for it to sort of blow over on its own. It's like your own power, your own involvement of working through it helps. For some of you guys, I also feel for this pile, if you're single, it could be like becoming at peace with where you're at, like really, truly working with the people that are in your life and saying that whatever is sort of happening in my world is enough. We don't have to carry the pressure of maybe getting in a relationship or finding someone. Like if you're maybe older in age and you're thinking like, am I going to be single forever? If you've been single for some time, or if you're even wanting like a family or children, it's like, look at how much time has gone by, and maybe you are carrying pressure, pressure to be somewhere already, or achieve some sort of relationship, or have something in your world already. I feel like there's this coming to a realization that whatever you are experiencing is exactly sort of as the universe is intended, and making peace with this. Now, I don't think it means that you're, like saying, okay, universe, I do want to be by myself. It's just saying like, I've healed the need to maybe have to be in a relationship, or have to find someone, or have to rely on other here to make me feel fulfilled or whole, or like complete in some way, or like that's my life mission. And if I don't find it, then I'm miserable or something like this. Yeah. So it does seem to be very healing, this energy that you're entering. So let's pull some oracle cards and see what else pulls through here for you, pile number 2. For pile 2, Spirit, regarding the release of blocks, what's clearing up in the pathway here for pile number 2? What's clearing up? And what blocks are being removed? There's one more. No, 2 more. Okay. So you guys have the one who hides the sun. I feel like this is a self-sabotage we talked about earlier here. Like, sun is the joy. It's like something getting in the way here. You know, it's like, I know what it is that I truly want to experience. And then there's like this block that sort of gets in the way of experiencing that joy or aligning with that in which I want. So I think you clear the obstruction, the thing that always sort of gets in the way of that in your vision or your dream, your light. Beautiful. So yeah, your light. It's like, I'm really tied back to this temperance. It's like your ability to transmute some of those negative thought patterns. Even the sun is about light and like illumination. I think you get to see something about yourself that you can really heal or work through here, you know? Because I feel like in the past, it was just like maybe a pattern that you didn't even recognize you were doing, or found it within yourself to muster up energy to do differently or say differently or acknowledge differently, spirits to guide you. Beautiful. So definitely being guided by spirits and how to handle certain things. And I feel like it opens door to opportunities. So if it's like, it got in the way of my relationships, it got in the way of my creative pursuits, it's like on the other side of this door is that opportunity, that star, I think, that you want to experience. You know, and spirits showing you like, hey, here's what needs healing, or here's how we can work through this in order to gain this opportunity. Everything will be okay. 46. Yes. So that's beautiful, because I feel like there is a lot of healing here. There is a lot of flow that happens as a result of acknowledging this pattern and doing things differently. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay. So I'm going to pull these oracles, but give me a moment. Just use the washroom. Be right. All right, pile 2. So many interruptions for this reading. Let's take a look at what you're surrendering here. So Spirit, for pile number 2, we're tapping into the blocks being released, the pathway opening up. What exactly is pile 2 surrendering here energetically? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 2. Pile 2, it's also coming through that there could be, for some of you guys, interacting with people who maybe reinforce a sort of behavior from you when it comes to relationship or engagement that perpetuates some sort of outcome that doesn't necessarily flow. Okay, so it's like finding peace, finding compromise, finding a way to harmonize with others, maybe in a way that's been difficult for you. Okay, so it doesn't necessarily mean that you've been sabotaging yourself, but maybe it's like, how is it that I am able to work or flow with others here, maybe differently than I have in the past. Okay, surrender stress. Take a few deep breaths and exhale the tension you've built up in your body. Let the stress go and come back to your center. So it does sound like stressful energy to carry around for sure. If there's an imbalance in how to maintain centered, when we hear the voice saying all sorts of things, okay, negative reinforcement pattern could definitely be like things that we've believed about ourselves, or again, narratives that we believe, and then we start to act as if that's the truth of the situation. Okay, so yeah, staying grounded, staying balanced, staying sort of neutral. And maybe some of you guys might hold a lot of anxiety, potentially, you know, when dealing with situations, maybe situations in which you're having to speak your piece. Okay, surrender to silence. In quiet meditation or contemplation, let go and enter the stillness within you. Silence can heal and replenish you. Yeah, more of this centered energy, remaining centered, remaining emotionally balanced. Okay, surrender obsessive thinking. Yeah, if you're obsessing about a person or situation, turn the dilemma over to spirit. Doing so will help you. Doing so will help bring you clarity or even solve the problem. So some of you guys might really ruminate, like, let's say you have a conversation with someone and you might really read into it. What did this mean? Or replay conversations over and over, giving it meaning in a way here that might make you feel stressed out, might make you feel like you're obsessing, over the same topic or over a situation, replaying conversations. How could I have done that better? Why did that person say that? Maybe this is what they're thinking of me. And then completely taking action on that thought rather than the present moment. Okay, so this is the type of stuff that I feel is shifting for you guys, because I do feel this has been a block towards flow, a block towards being able to harmonize with others here. So it does open the door to new opportunity, and maybe it's like exploring another side of relationship that has been closed up until now. Okay, or if it's not, like I said, like a one-on-one relationship, it's like, if it is about like putting myself out there in a vulnerable state, okay, like my truth or like my art or my presentation to the universe, it's like not getting in the way of that with the thoughts that come in and then make you sort of change your mind and doubt yourself. Okay, so let's pull these oracles as well to close out your reading, spirit. For pile, these cards are getting stuck to the table. For pile number 2, what is clearing out here? What blocks are being removed for pile number 2? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 2. What do they have to look forward to here in regards to blocks being removed at this time? I do feel there's one more. All right. Gateway. Wow, this is like the spirits to guide you. This door. I think for a lot of you guys, you might actually explore a part of an opportunity that has been closed. So for example, let's say if this is relationship to you, okay, whether it's an ongoing relationship or different relationships, it's like you can't get past a certain point. Maybe it's like I sabotage at this point, or this is the furthest I can sort of go, within connecting with people before I get uncomfortable, or before the self-speak comes in, or before things shift for me. Or let's say if it's even with putting your creative projects out there or being seen, it's like staying within our comfort zone and then not going beyond a certain point where it's like, okay, this will make me feel exposed because it's vulnerably showing my art or putting myself out there in a way that I haven't. And so, but whatever's on the other side of this door, this gateway, is a new experience for you. So I feel like you're entering a new experience because I think you're able to work beyond the block that has been keeping you sort of comfortable, and so maybe it's taken some time to build the courage to say, I'm moving beyond this struggle, this challenge, or this thing. I'm going to find a way. Like, I really feel like there's a finding a way to get beyond that, in which has always been a hindrance for you, okay, or in your situation, if it's been, a specific relationship or a specific experience that you've been having in one area. It's like, how can I find a way to move beyond this thing that seems to be really stuck or blocked? Okay, so I do feel you're moving beyond that. Relaxation that comes into the surrender stress, surrender to silence, and also even this obsessive thinking. So if you've been having a lot of ruminating thoughts, certain things that are replaying in your mind over and over and over, I feel like surrendering that allows you to have more relaxation. So your nervous system might be taking a break from experiencing stress and carrying, anxiety, carrying multiple thoughts, carrying, like beliefs about yourself or certain situations that might have weighed heavy on you. So I do feel also, if you guys haven't been sleeping well, you guys might be able to sleep a lot better. I also feel like there might be a better connection to alone time for yourself. So maybe like your peaceful time or your alone time has been stressful, because it's like when I'm alone or when I'm sort of reflecting, it's like more stressful because I'm sort of unwinding from the day, but it's like the thoughts come in and the doubt comes in and then the anticipation comes in and then there's like a challenge fully relaxing. I do feel this is shifting for you guys. Love, beautiful. Yeah, I feel like, this says it all with the temperance, it's like really allowing your love of experience, harmony, your love of whatever your creative voice or your love for other to speak through this and fight through this devilly energy of this negative reinforcement pattern. It's like only love will be able to move beyond something that maybe you've carried for a very long time, Beautiful. And then we have courage. Yes. And this talks about overcoming the obstacle and facing things head on that maybe you haven't in the past. Like I said, maybe it's been like, I stay in my comfort zone. I'm sort of doing what I do here in order to maintain a protective state, but it doesn't allow you growth. It doesn't move from there. And I feel like it's kept you small. It also hasn't healed that pattern of anxiety and thought by doing what you do, And so there's this understanding I feel you have with the Ace of Swords. It's like, I want to face this thing. I want to lean into this thing. I want to not to repeat certain things that have been sabotaging or getting in the way of what it is that I want. So you must really feel connected to that in which you're wanting. Okay, in order to sort of move beyond this. So it feels very beautiful, pile number 2. I hope that this reading resonated for you guys. If you guys were drawn to another pile, I will see you guys there. All right, bye-bye. Hello, pile number 3. You guys picked the Out of Hand Tarot. And we are looking at what blocks are being removed for you. What's opening up in your pathway here? Okay, so clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 3. Spirit, can we look at what blocks are being removed? What's opening up for pile number 3 at this time? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 3. Pile 3, I like to take this time to thank your higher self, spirit team, spirit guides, angels, ancestors, and of course, spirit for this act of divination. Thank you so, so much. I'm so blessed to be here. And super excited to see what it is that is being removed or opening up in way of challenge blocks for pile number 3. What is being removed? You guys got 2 cards there and one of these. What is being removed? What is opening up in pile 2's path here? All right, so you guys have the 9 of Cups. Beautiful. She's doing some pottery. Ooh, I just heard health. So if some of you guys have been battling with anything with your health, could be stress related, could be like wanting to invest more time in your physical vessel. Okay, so I don't know if like you've been taking up some healthy eating or maybe some new type of exercise or even self-care, like a routine here. I feel like this is going to improve for a lot of you guys. Okay, but of course, 9 of Cups is emotional well-being. The Chariot is in reverse, Cancer energy. And then we have Justice, the Libra energy, and that's clarified by the Star in reverse, Aquarius energy. Okay, and then we have the bubble. What's 27 or the number 9? So Cancer, Virgo, Libra, and Aquarius. Okay, just give me a moment here to sit with this energy. Yeah. Okay. Pile number 3. What's really coming through really loud and clear? I think some of you guys have been, and maybe like this almost feels like, and you can apply this to your own situations. It's like, I want to lose weight. Okay. That's the most simple one. But then it's like, we keep repeating and maybe like certain diets or attempts. And then those attempts keep sort of flopping. You know, like they just keep flopping, and it's like we can lose all sorts of like, we can get very discouraged. We can like stop trying and then sort of dig ourselves into disappointment, or just like, yeah, like it could sort of snowball very quickly. So I feel like a big message here is about sticking to some sort of routine that allows you to build your health, build your strength, overcome some sort of challenge that maybe you've been attempting for some time here. And I do feel like this allows you to feel more balanced in your world in order for you to be able to accomplish more things. Because it's almost giving off like, if I can't regulate some certain part of me, it's like everything else that follows sort of pays the price, you know? Like if I can't sleep well, or if I have like troubles in one area of my world that is very related to my personal health or my sense of stability or something like this, it's like everything else sort of isn't allowed to flourish, or I have a harder time focusing on what I need to focus. So I do feel like a lot of you guys are going to be able to build a solid, stable vessel for yourself. However, you've been sort of feeling challenged. So maybe better sleep, better food. Maybe if you've been trying to overcome an addiction that's been sort of pulling at you, this is the type of stuff that you're able to work through. And I do feel like it's something that you've been consistently sort of trying to get under control. Now, I don't know why it sort of changes so much, as maybe you understand something differently here, because the bubble is sort of like reverse hangman energy for me. It's like we're in a narrow understanding of what we know only. And so it's hard for us to sort of see anything outside of that understanding that we have. So I don't know what sort of revelation or experience you have that sort of allows you to come at this a little differently, or just the energy is different to sustain some sort of a routine, some sort of an attempt differently than before. And if you try the same thing, it works differently than before, because I think the energy behind it is a lot different as well. I'm also getting like, it just fell away. Sorry, I got a blank spot there. Let me see if I can remember. No, total blank spot there. Sorry, guys. If it comes back, I'll let you guys know. So I feel like some of you guys might have been experiencing like, this is giving me heavy root chakra, back to basics. Because if some of you guys have been feeling really like sluggish or really like blocked when it comes to your life progress, like everything, maybe it's career, relationship, getting in line, like picking myself up, like moving forward in my life, like where am I aimed? Where am I steering towards? And I feel a lot of this was riding on, maybe it was, I don't know, your nervous system or your foundation was being compromised. I don't know how, because I don't see it here. It could be just the environment was not conducive to a safe place for you to feel like okay or safe or stable or trusting that environment. And so I do feel like there's a solidness that comes. There is you maybe even getting very grounded or planted where you are so that you can build upon this. Because I do feel like the first sort of step here was you sort of, I don't know, like getting balanced, getting grounded, feeling secure, allowing yourself to feel like your health is under control, or you have the ability to support your own health, your own safety, your own security, your own, like, I don't know. If some of you guys have been like anxious, maybe about a job or a live-in space, because I feel it's like impacting your livelihood. So if we've been jobless for a while and it's like a lot of stress in regards to what am I going to do, or like if we've been looking for a place because, I don't know, maybe our lease is up or something like this, or we had to move out of our place and find a new place and it's like up in the air. It's like you can't really think about anything else beyond securing yourself, stabilizing yourself. And so this is saying you will find a secure place. You will find that place so that you can recoup your energy. So I do see it's like recouping your energy. And I'm also getting like in this positive for this bubble, I feel like there was a real need to sort of bring it back. Like bring it back home, bring it back to self, like really focus on what really matters in the basics, Again, eating, sleeping, stabilizing, grounding, securing, and everything else sort of falls away for a bit, because I feel like this has been something that has been missing for a while. Some of you guys might have been stressed out, very anxious, feeling sort of at the mercy of the universe, or just like starting to lose hope, I feel like Spirit's also talking about maybe some of you guys are like at a place in your journey where maybe that there's a new chapter and you're sort of in this place of building yourself back up. Like this really feels like I'm building myself back up, and I might not know exactly where I'm going to go now or next, and where maybe I thought I had planned to go has closed its door, or I closed its door on that. It's like the past no longer sort of haunts you here, because I feel like the past is over in some way, It's like the past here isn't dictating my decisions anymore. I've shifted gears. I've changed lanes. But it doesn't feel like the lane changing is like you aiming for anything at this time. More so, it's like I'm no longer aiming for that. Therefore, I just need to sort of hone my energy before the next thing, before I know where I'm going, before I can make decisions that are in line with what I am wanting now. So you guys might have really changed your mind. Maybe you made a huge career shift, It's like, I just know I can't stay at this workplace, but I don't know like where I will work or where I will relocate or even where I'll live. So maybe you've been leaving it up to spirit as well. Like, and maybe there's so much coming through and it's really hard to word. It almost feels like maybe at one point in time it was like I wasn't listening to spirit, and maybe you were really trying to like maintain some path that wasn't for you, and you might have learned the hard way here. It's like it challenged you. Maybe it like did all sorts of things. And I feel like if that's what you've experienced, I feel like there is a surrendering to allowing that to sort of be not your path anymore. It's like, this is not my path anymore. It's brought struggle, or it's brought anxiety, or it's brought uncertainty, it's brought confusion, it's brought like a negative impact, if you will, on your alignment. And I think it was taking a toll on your health. Okay, however it was doing this, maybe the belief in yourself, maybe making you feel anxious or depressed or whatever. And so I feel like there is this surrender of that, and then bringing it back to oneself so that you can see what it is that you are wanting to align with. And so I think this is much needed in order for you to see what your next step is, what your next decisions are, what path does open up for you. And so there's recognition here from your spirit team that you're on the right path. You're surrendering that in which does not work. And you might be getting a lot more present, I feel here, and a lot more like able to go with the flow. Although again, like that safety and security, it's like sometimes routine allows us for that safety and security. So it's like through the routine, I'm able to be more in the present moment. I'm able to deal with the uncertainties that do come through. And also, if a lot of you guys have been like experiencing like a block, I don't know if it's been an intuitive block or a creative block or a writer's block, or like whatever it is that maybe your passion is, because you've been dealing with bigger issues or more important things or serious things. I feel you're going to get back to that, writing, creating. And I do feel this helps you for sure. Yeah. And I think you're going to be committed to that practice. And I feel like for some of you guys, that practice might open the doors to where you are being aligned, because I feel like there's a newfound commitment to that in which you enjoy doing. And maybe in the past, it was like I had to sacrifice my joy, or I was just too exhausted to, like spend more time doing what it is that I love, because I either didn't have time, I was too drained, or felt too guilty, or had bigger things going on that I just, by the time it was time to create, I was sort of depleted here. Yeah, and I also feel there could be like really connecting to nature a lot more than maybe you have in the past. Some of you guys are making like really big like changes, like maybe you're going vegan, maybe you're committing to like a change in lifestyle here, like going off grid, or like planting your own garden, only eating like organic foods, or like food that you grow in your garden. Like there seems to be this sort of a shift here. I also see there's like strong commitments coming in, and I feel it is coming from you. So maybe we felt like we couldn't, again, like commit to healthiness or commit to a routine or commit to a practice. But it's like, I always wanted to like get my eating under order. Or I always wanted to do this like commitment. Like for me, I think you're able to do this because I think the energy really shifts here and it allows you like the I don't know, like it just allows you the grit to sort of stay to it, to overcome. There goes my email, to overcome whatever was getting in the way of you sticking to your word of doing whatever it was that you commit to doing. It's like, I don't know, like, work out 5 days a week, or I will wake up early and like do like a morning walk routine or something like this, and you do it. And I feel this really, really allows a lot of things to shift in your world, because I feel like the time there will allow you to open up to your intuition, to see your pathway. And I feel like what your guides are coming through here is like, there's a lot that you're not really seeing at this time in regards to where you're headed. And so maybe at some point we were frustrated, like, where am I headed? What's the purpose? What's the plan? And now it's like, you know what? I'm just going to focus on what's at hand. I'm just going to get present in the moment. I'm going to do what it is I can do on myself or about my current circumstance so that things can align. And when it is time, I can act, I can make different decisions and really like stay committed to that. Yeah. Wow. Okay. That feels beautiful. Let's pull some oracle cards and see. Spirit for pile number 3. So what blocks are being removed? What's opening up for pile 3 in this and their pathway and their journey? What blocks are being removed for pile number 3, Spirit? You guys have death of the deceitful. So this is giving me like I was on the wrong path, or I cannot lie to myself about what is required, or I have to face what it is that I've been putting off. It's like if we keep putting off something we know is good for us, and we're sort of in denial, or we're like living inauthentically. We're doing a job that doesn't feel authentic. We're eating things that we know are like, we just feel like we're not aligned with our truth. And we keep repeating those patterns or staying put, or, and it's like, I'm sort of, now seeing like it kept me in that world, which felt inauthentically me. And so I feel like there's a breaking out, there's a release of that. There's shifting from that. Also, like I said, the intuition is at an all-time high here. And I feel like there's this surrender, like opening up to spirit, releasing what you need to, and then just focusing on the thing that you can. And I'm seeing spirals here. So for some of you guys, like I said, it is like routine, habitual patterns. And like I said, sometimes for some of you guys, you could be dealing with like addictions, whether it be a food addiction, substance addiction, or like self-defeating actions, behaviors that are like, I know better, but I keep sort of repeating this thing, So I feel like this is what you're surrendering here. The Heart Eater, 13. So we have Scorpio here. We have Scorpio here. A lot of this release energy. I think there's a gritness about you here, not that you become a heart eater, but that maybe there was too much bend in your energy, like maybe emotional bend, or feeling like emotionally overwhelmed, or like swayed very easily, like this to me feels like there's a hardiness, there's more like sticking to program, there's like being tougher, like being tougher in our convictions And it's like, I'm just going to sort of suck it up in some way, you know? Like, yes, obviously we need to mourn and feel what we feel. But I feel like if there's been like a challenging situation, rather than just like staying there, maybe complaining, maybe saying it's not working or it's never shifting, or that's sort of a perpetual thing. It's like, I'm going to do something about this, you know, and it feels empowered. It feels very guided. Okay, make it look like the Knight. This came out for pile number 1. I feel like you're taking your situation and making the most of your situation. Because I do feel like intuitively you know that there will be a new and that you will be aligned. But I feel like maybe the frustration is it's not happening now. I'm not aligned now. I'm not where I want to be now. And we could really sort of sit in that energy, you know? But it's like, now is the time that I can get involved. Now's the time I can be awake in my experience. Now's the time I can sort of lean into what it is that I am dealing with and do what I can. There's something here, like the stars coming through here. I saw the star here on the chariot, on the bike. There's a lot of star energy, which is our future, our purpose, our plan. I feel like you know that there is an unfolding for you. But I feel like there's a real need to deal with the present moments to get on track. And that would mean releasing what's not serving, shifting energy around, and really committing and sticking to something, you know? Yeah, the pink bubble fairy. I think things lighten up for you, you know? Pink bubble fairy is like, things just turn up, you know? It's like things just, it's like the wheel of fortune in the upright. Like things just starts to appear better, energy's lighter. It's a beautiful energy, I feel, from maybe where you might have been experiencing a dark night of the soul, or like, I don't know, if you've been experiencing depression or stress here, you know, stress related from your actions. I think you're bringing in a lot of positive energy by this shift. K42, be free, do what you love. I think where you guys might have carried a lot of stress, maybe there was like an expectation to be somewhere or do something that might have felt very misaligned. And it's like, no one is going to take care of me but me, you know? And it's like, where is my energy? Can I hone it back to myself and then be in control of that, in which I can do right here, right now for me? And this is what I mean by this consistent, like, commitment to your practice. I feel like you might be really exhausted of like repeating certain things, you know? It's like, I can't repeat certain things anymore. I'm seeing it differently. I'm going to find different ways to sort of work around it or be different. Or yeah, there's new inspiration as well to be able to take different decisions or make different decisions, do things differently, think differently. It feels like things do definitely lighten up for you. Okay, which deck? Let's use the surrender cards here and see what are you surrendering? What is pile number 3 surrendering here energetically? What's opening up for pile number 3, Spirit? All right. Surrender stubbornness. If you're tensing up or taking a rigid stance about something, gently observe yourself and become more yielding. This will help you communicate more lovingly with others. I feel like this is this release. Because I feel like you might have been in a situation circumstance, some form of inauthentic arrangement, if you will, that wasn't speaking to you. And I feel like maybe there's a realization like it's not going to work for me. There's an exhaustion of butting your head up against it, like, releasing that and then focusing what you can shift, what you can control. Because I feel like I said, for a lot of you guys, it's back to basics. It's like, I can't do anything maybe about like, on the bigger picture scale at this time. And so I got to let it go and bring it back closer to me. She's wearing pink, and I'm getting this pink bubble fairy, and this pink is all about self-love. So maybe also there's like a how, like maybe you're really fixed on how something was supposed to go. This is kind of kicking back to this, although I was picking this up more as like the stronger commitment of like grinding something out. I feel like there's less pressure on you if you do slip. Like, let's say you fall back an old way. It could snowball, into then you just feel defeated. And then you're like, oh, I'm off the wagon, whatever the wagon is of the thing that you were trying to do. And then you might like really sort of perpetuate that energy and go off track and then restart. And those are the cycles. I feel like there's an ability for you to accept, some fallback and make allowance for yourself, because I feel this allows you to be flexible. This is like a change in perspective, allowing yourself to say, okay, maybe, I slipped up again, or I did the thing I didn't want to do, but instead of beating myself up or like falling completely back in that pattern or that rigid way of thinking, I'm now just going to get back on the horse. Like, this is the commitment that you're making. And then the spiral could be like the repeat of that decision over time creates a consistency or a commitment. Yeah, I'm seeing both spiral of the past and the new spiral of like the new energy, but we have to release something here. Surrender to creativity. So we did talk about your creativity at an all-time high. Okay, let your imagination soar. Stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. Yeah, again, the star energy is like your dream, your focus. I feel like you will be invested more creatively. Surrender low self-esteem. You deserve success, love, and abundance. Set an intention to identify and release any remnants of low self-esteem. So I think the release, like I was talking about here, is like things that make you feel bad about yourself, You could really carry that, like judgment. Oh, I did this, or I'm involved in that, or I keep repeating this, or I don't know. And then we can really like beat ourselves up. I feel you're letting that go, releasing that. And this helps you sort of get, strength. It helps you build your confidence. It helps you build your commitment and stay on a pattern. Because I really feel it's like building your groundwork here that feels a lot more solid, So surrender your desire to control people. Being over-controlling can sabotage relationships to more effectively achieve your goals. Back off, regroup, and give the situation some breathing room. So I don't know if you guys felt like you've been in a situation where you had to get some form of outcome. It's like bending, frustrating, butting your head up against certain people or situation to try to get it to be one thing that it's not. I think this is going away. I feel like, again, it's like, what can I control? I can't control other people. I can't control circumstance. All I can do is sort of focus on my own energy. And so I feel like you give this up. And this release allows you to change the energy. Because there could be a lot of like anxiety trying to shift things in a way that we expect something should go, or how we expect it to be, or engage. And we can get very fixed on that, and everything else sort of fall to the wayside here. But it's like, no, I need to bring it back to myself. So it feels like a healing process. I'm also, again, seeing like this was a vessel. I'm like seeing a bathtub over here. So the vessel is obviously the body, but it carries water. So maybe there's like being able to sit with one's own emotions, or hold one's own emotions in a way, rather than, and maybe there's a pattern of like, when I'm feeling emotionally overwhelmed, or I don't know how to sit with my own emotion. And so I try to, I don't know, look to other to make me feel better, or look to food, or look to, like I said, substance, or look to out there, That's like, no, I look to myself to sit with my emotions, or to sit with what is. And then it feels like we're more in control. Because trying to control out there, I think, as we know, can backfire, and it doesn't really work. All right, let's pull some of these oracles and see if we could see some more. Spirit, for pile number 3, what is being removed in regards to blocks, or what is opening up for pile number 3? What is opening up for pile number 3 in their world? There seems to be taking more accountability for your own decisions here. Yeah. Okay. Oh, look at it, you guys. Purification. My gosh, I was seeing the bathtub with the water. Okay, which could be purifying oneself for sure. The sunflower faces the sun, so the sun can represent clarity, enlightenment, joy. It's like, I'm going to work with that in which brings me joy, rather than the stuff that ends up making me feel maybe worse, or more challenged, more heavy. This is beautiful purification going forward. Yes. Look at the nature here. We talked about you being sort of more connected to nature. So the star can definitely talk about your forward movement. And like we said, closing the door to some phase. Like it seems like something didn't work, Or it's like it's over. That experience I had is over now, and I'm looking forward to what's next. So I'm just sort of taking one day at a time, being in this present moment, moving towards where spirit wants me to move towards, rather than maybe ruminating, staying stuck, looking at what didn't work, trying to get it to work, and like butting my head up against the wall. It's like, no, I'm ready to move forward and release that version of me, that experience, and make peace with it. Okay, enlightenment, yeah, the sun, heading towards the sun. So enlightenment just means it's bringing awareness to, the more awareness we have, the greater the consciousness. And so it's like I can bring awareness to many different aspects. And the more awareness I have, the more enlightened I feel, which means the more joy I feel, the more at peace I feel, the more in line with spirit and authenticity I am. But when I'm trying to control reality, other people, it's like I'm not accepting reality as it is. And this comes with an acceptance here. I feel like there's an acceptance of what is, and a surrender, and an opening up. And then this allows there to be joy. This allows there to be clarity. This allows there to be movement. And it's like, oh, I could see even more. I could see even more. And when you see even more, it's like your decisions change, and your understanding changes, and your grip changes. and your healing happens throughout this process. So it feels very beautiful, pile number 3. I hope this resonated for you guys. If you're drawn to another pile, I will see you there. All right, bye-bye. Pile number 4, you guys picked the Prisma Visions Tarot, and we're looking at what blocks are being removed for you. What's opening up in your pathway? So we'll ask Spirit for a clear and concise message for beautiful pile number 4. And what blocks are being removed at this time for pile number 4? Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 4. Pile 4, I'd like to take this time to thank your higher self, spirit team, spirit guides, ancestors, angels, and Spirit for this act of divination. Thank you so much. We're so blessed to be here. What is opening up here for pile number 4? What blocks are being removed at this time? Please help me to channel in a way pile 4 will understand what is being communicated for their greatest and highest good. All right. And one of these. What is opening up? The blocks are being removed for pile number 4. I feel there's one more for you guys in this blind spot oracle. What blocks are being removed? There it is. Okay. We have Temperance. It is in reverse. I'm going to read them as they come out, okay? So we have Sagittarius energy. We have the Fool, Aquarius energy. And we have the Two of Wands in the reverse. And then we have the Tower. 3 major arcanas here. We have Inauthenticity 23 or 5. And then we have Transcendental Escapism. Transcendental Escapism 72. Number 9. I'm going to sneeze. Give me a second. It's there. Okay, it passed. Interesting. All right. Give me a moment to sit with this energy and see what blocks are being removed here. Okay, pile number 4. This is an interesting energy for sure. Like I said, sometimes I tap into energy around you as well, okay? So if it's not your energy, then you don't have to listen to this pile, obviously. I feel like the universe is really coming to shift your world here, okay? It's like intervening. And I feel it's intervening because I do feel like maybe there was a path you were on. Now, this path could have felt safe for sure, but I do feel there's something about maybe complacency. There could have been even yeah, it feels like complacency, okay? Different flavors of complacency, whatever word you sort of want to attach to that energy. And Spirit always knows our highest path. And so what I feel is happening here, it's like, in order for us to be aligned with that, which is the highest path, Spirit has to sort of shake up our world. So I do feel like, and maybe you have been experiencing like, trying to do things maybe in a way you have in the past and flowing in that way and staying comfortable, or at least things sort of being able to be sustained. I feel like what's happening is Spirit is removing that opportunity for us to sort of stay with the status quo and maintain the status quo in order for us to get moving, you know? It's like Spirit is saying, like, whatever path you were on was not your highest calling. And had I not sort of intervened or shifted the energy, you could have been sort of staying there under the false pretense that that was where you were meant to be, or staying put there for who knows how long. Yeah. So I think what's being removed here is I do feel it has to do with your environment. So spirit could be pulling people out of your environment. Spirit could be removing unhealthy job situations, living arrangements, location, anything and everything that must be changed and shifted is being removed at this time in your world. And that could be very destabilizing, you know, because we could feel really ungrounded. We could feel like, where is this going to lead me to? We could feel very unstable or trying to grasp to security. And we might even like not know exactly where this is all headed or why this is happening or where it's going to lead to. And we're just trying to gain our bearings. So I feel like what is being removed is anything and everything that is not the line for your highest good and your purpose. So it seems to be a big spiritual intervention here with this pile, you know? And we can go through all the phases, whatever you want to call it, the 12 steps of acceptance. You know, I don't know if that's what the name is, but it's like we could be angry, we could feel scared, we could feel our whole world is shifting, you know, and this could be applying to just one sort of area of your world. But I feel it's greater and bigger than this because I think it impacts all areas of your life, you know? And so this could be like a major, like, shift in your whole world. And you could really like feel like you're not really settled. Not yet. Because what spirit is talking about is before you can settle, we have to make sure that the place in which these roots are going to be laid is the aligned place for you. And so there is a promise of aligning to security, stability, but in the right place, you know? And I think right now, because you're experiencing this, it could feel very, anything can happen at any point in time. And maybe you're already like in this, if you're not already, you might be coming into this like trust of the universe blindly energy, like this Fool. And the Fool is everything and nothing, you know? This is what's beautiful about the Fool, is zero. It's nothing and it's everything. The Fool has the whole journey sort of ahead of it. And so there's something very liberating about this Fool energy. But unless we have like a true sort of dark night of the ego, okay, like where we're totally surrendering the ego, the identity, the world we create, if there's no attachment, it's like this Fool can go comfortably, you know? But if this Fool is still like parting with attachments and still identified with the 3D, the Fool might have a very hard time sort of progressing. So I feel like what's shifting for you is this like ability to surrender fully to spirit, to trust spirit in the moment, because I feel like this is required in order to line you up with the next thing for you. I don't see what the next thing here is for you. I feel like what spirit is really focusing in on for this group is like being completely able to be in the present moment, accepting exactly what is in front of you, even if it seems like this moment feels like there's nothing to grab onto in this moment, you know? Now, that doesn't mean you don't have something, because spirit is always there, and that this 3D world could be something that you could definitely build security on. But it's like, unless you're in the environment in which spirit is saying is for you, then it's let it go. Don't attach. And be like water. Allow yourself to trust and flow. And Maybe even like don't assume or don't grasp at anything, don't attach to any outcome, you know? And I feel like this does become a lot easier for you, although, like I said, it could be quite disorientating. If some of you guys have been like on this journey for quite some time, where it almost feels like exactly what I'm mentioning here, I have been like the Fool. I haven't been able to go down any particular path. Things have been already removed for quite some time. I'm still sort of, I've already learned to surrender, trust spirit, and my environment is not what it used to be here. And then there's this like, the only thing that I could rely on is my escaping to spirit or 5D. This is going to shift for you guys because I do feel like it's going to get more 3D for you, okay? But this is all about like living in 5D energy. So for the bulk of you guys, it is this like, if there's still attachment, if there's still suffering, if there's still misalignment, if there's still decisions that you're making that are like out of, like I said, like complacency or just familiarity, or like, I'm too fearful to detach from this thing, or what would happen if I do, you know, like make a different change or do whatever, like then you're still working through this, because I feel like this tower is ongoing to clear the playing field. But I do feel there might be some of you guys here, like I said, where it's like, this has been my world, has been like 5D. And I do feel like this could be a form of escapism when it's like, when it's now requiring us to lay roots, when it's now requiring us to align to something, you know? So we might be like realizing that's like how I'm utilizing this energy has been to escape commitment to the 3D, to build something, because maybe 5D has been easier. Maybe to put forward an effort here to something else would require something of me that I wasn't prepared to do. Or even I didn't feel like I belonged in that 3D world. I felt I was of the 5D, you know? And so this is going to shift for you either which way, whichever sort of side you fall on, because I feel Spirit's intervention here is, what is your purpose here? Your purpose to be in 3D isn't to maintain in the 5D forever. And if you are in the 3D, still dealing with egos and attachments and all of this stuff, you might feel very disorientated here as this process continues. And Spirit is assuring you, like, the process has to happen in a way here that has an outcome on you, like an outcome on your understanding of spirit, your understanding of self, you know. And I'm not talking about the egoic self, but like the self here that makes decisions, the self here that is involved in the 3D, and the self that isn't attached to any other identity or anything sort of calling the shots, that isn't aligned with the greater truth. Yeah, so even if it feels like it's upside down for a lot of you guys, or like you don't have any control or any like footing, I feel like it's going to get more comfortable for you, you know? It's going to get more comfortable for you, but it's not going to go back to the same. And so, like, we could be thinking, okay, well, once this passes, I'm just going to go back to creating, I don't know, another version of that in which I had. It's like, no, you're not. there's big shifts here for you, pile number 4, and I'm only like seeing to a certain degree here. I wish I could give you a lot more of this, but obviously we're looking at what blocks are being removed, and so this is for your highest good. And even though we see Tower here in Tower, a lot of people are scared of Tower. This is really the universe intervening, because left to our own devices, we wouldn't make the decisions, to align ourselves differently in the universe unless there was an experience that shifts us completely. And sometimes it might feel like pulling the rug completely from under us, It's like, well, I guess I got to do things in a different way here. And wherever it was that I was planning on going or hanging on to or doing is no longer an option for me. It's been removed. And so here I go, facing the unknown, but totally trusting spirit. And if some of you guys, there might have been resistance to this process, like still trying to then create like a mini world here, or disassociating into the 5D, or getting stubborn or sticking to something, and it's like we're overcoming that, because that is getting in the way of the flow. That is getting in the way of the process. And so it only creates resistance and suffering. Okay, but we're still headed in the same direction, whether we go there kicking or screaming or resisting, or we allow it to flow. But it's like, again, like if you feel disorientated, it's like spirit, like, maybe let me rest here for some time. I don't know how long you've been resting there, wherever the there is. It feels like spirit's also sending, like this life support. But the life support I feel is this intervention. Here's this intervention, spirit is saying, So lots of change, lots of upheaval, lots of shifting, and it might seem like, whoa, like I can't gain my bearings. Nothing feels grounded or consistent. And so it could really be like escaping to this like 5D energy, as we sort of navigate through this thing. Let's pull some oracle cards and see what we see. I'll start with the Iris Oracle here. Spirit, for pile number 4, what blocks are being removed? What is this energy I'm channeling for pile 4, the blocks being removed and the pathway opening up here for pile 4? Under a spell. I'm getting this like transcendental escapism. Some of you guys might be disassociating in order to sort of get by or get through. I feel like wherever we have been doing that, I feel like there is this calling from the universe to face, like actual truths of what's going on in our world. Because some of you guys might have been very, very misaligned, like, I'll just sort of stay in this unhappy job, like, and then like disassociate myself, but yet my actions are here in this job and I'm still like there. It's like misaligned. That's going away because it's not your authentic self. You're not congruent with what your spirit is wanting. So there seems to be an alignment with spirit, a removal of that in which no longer serves you. And so there's no need to sort of disassociate or go like drift into this like dreamy time energy, because we can create it here in the 3D. Okay, you can't find goodness because you lost your heart. So maybe this is it, is like believing we have to stay where we're at. That what it is that we could have or want, it's like a dream or a fantasy. but then we're like misaligned completely and authentically to something at the expense of the great thing, or aligning the heart with the thing. So I feel like the heart, spirit, and body and mind and soul will all need to sort of be aligned. And spirit is saying, I'm going to remove everything here that is telling you or showing you that you can't have it, or it's not going to work, you know? It's like, too late for me. It's never going to happen for me, or I just don't have it within me, or it's not out there for me to align to. It's like, no, it is, but you got to see it first. Okay, smother. 30. The little mouse is being like smothered by the snake. Let's read the smother. I mean, we know what the smother is, but let's see, what does the book say about it? It says, I think we all know what this feels like. Trapped, smothered, as if the pressure upon you got any heavier, you might just die from suffocation. This might be a good opportunity for you to be still within patience and temperance. If you struggle, the hold may just become even tighter. Breathe, make yourself smaller to see the big picture, and you just might slip out of that grip. I feel like the more you attach, I feel like you're the smotherer, I guess, but it creates a feeling of feeling smothered, because if that makes any sense, because what I feel is happening is like when there is a shift and the ground beneath us sort of doesn't allow us to get footing, it's like we grab onto that which is real, you know, and it's natural. We'd want to sort of attach to it or cling to it or hold on to it for sort of dear life. And then, but because it's misaligned, it's like, and then we drift, and then we're not sort of aligned there, and we could stay there sort of drifting, mentally, spiritually, disassociating, making all sorts of understandings that we can live with, you know, or settle on, because we have certain beliefs of who we are, or identity, or I don't know. There seems to be this sort of a thing, and I feel like it's really restricting your movement. It restricts where you can go. It restricts where your purpose is. So I feel it's very unpleasant here for you guys, but this is shifting. Okay, this is slowly shifting. I'm going to pull one more here. But I feel like the process is going through this so that you can be aligned with freedom, so that you can let go of this, and which is creating this discomfort here for you. Yeah, 5 here as well is here. So lots of change, even conflict, but it's like the resistance is the conflict, you know? And the one who needs to control, that's giving me this. It's like there's still an identification with the ego, and that's the only reason we would need to control. So the Fool comes through, like I said, as this energy of trusting the divine. Because when I trust the divine, I don't need to control outcome. I don't need to hang on. I don't need to force. I don't need to feel this heavy energy of making something, because I'm surrendering it up to spirit. And so I feel like you might even feel like things are completely sort of falling out of your own control, you know? And it might not feel like a good energy here, but it's actually for the greatest good. It's like you really aligning with your greatest, highest purpose and working through the challenging energy that we carry as humans to sort of attach, control, disassociate, play small, settle, live in someone else's world. All of this is falling away, okay? Because in order for us to really like align with what we're called to do in this universe, we don't know if we're too much in this world. We won't know. It's too fearful to experience, to take a risk, to trust spirits, to make big decisions, to let go of that in which we know, you know? it feels very scary and destabilizing. And like we're on our own and there's nothing to grip onto. And it's like, but that's the process. Everyone going through this experiences, and you're not alone. And I feel like the more acceptance and the loosening of the grip of this control, I feel the more peace you're going to find. Okay, but I feel like we sort of have to really go through it. The ego isn't going to go through quietly. It's going to go kicking and screaming. It's going to double down, needing more control. It's going to attach even more. The anxious thoughts come through, more annoying, more repetitive. Okay, so I'm not saying what's coming in. I'm saying you're already experiencing all of this stuff if you're at this pile. Okay, this is what's shifting. This is what's going to really transform your life here. And it's like all the opportunities and decisions and choices and doors that could lead to my purpose is not being seen right now because of this experience is clouding all of that. And once this dies away, falls away, then I could see my path. Then I can align. Then me and spirit sort of work together to align to that. But I can't get on that until I'm sort of resolved with this. Yeah. Totally clear here. So let's see. What are these surrender cards? What is pile number 4 surrendering here? Definitely surrendering control. Surrendering worry, I feel as well here. What is pile number 4 surrendering here? Surrender to prayer. Oh, that's beautiful. So this is all about, again, like really trusting spirit. So give yourself over completely to prayer. When you pray from the heart, you will be heard throughout the universe. The answers and support will arrive. So there's something about prayer that's coming through for you guys. Okay. Like praying to spirits isn't about like an external desire. Like when we pray from the ego, that prayer doesn't even fall in spirit's ears. Okay, because all of the ego stuff is an illusion. Meaning if we're in illusion, praying for illusion, it's like spirit doesn't play in illusion. Spirit plays in truths. Only truths is that in which spirit can hear. And when we're totally aligned with truth, the prayer sounds different because it's not like an egoic need for something, because the truth is that we are already whole and complete. And so what does that prayer sound like if we already know? It's like, spirit, let me see this truth. Spirit, align me with the greater truth. I know everything is out there already for me. And that's why Jesus says, when you pray for it, it's already, know that it's already given. You already have that in which, you're going to be praying to God about. It's already gifted to you. It's already there. And so your prayer would sound completely different, right? But if we're still in illusion, it's like, we don't know we have everything here. So it's like, give me this, or make it so that all of the stuff that I feel I don't have is out there, comes to me. It's like, no, you already have it. So the prayer is like, give me the sight to see, like work with me in this surrender process. Yeah. So give into prayer, surrender fear. Let go of the fearful stories you are telling yourself. Stay in the moment, focus on solutions, and celebrate every baby step forward. Yeah, this might even seem like a battle you've been fighting for some time. The only reason we would control is because there's fear. Fear that what happens if I loosen my grip? Something is not going to go as I expect it to go. And so I grip even tighter. Then this means I don't trust spirit, because I think that the ego is going to have a better outcome if it does a certain thing. It's like, no, spirit is going to align everything. Everything's just perfect in God's universe. There is nothing that my ego is going to know more than God, than the universe, that it can do, the little ego, the little I. And so spirit, you have great power. Spirit, align that in which is for my highest good. and then totally like allowing oneself to surrender. And anytime there's an anxious thought or that need to control, it's like right now, I know spirit has it. I know right now spirit is going to do what it does, and just keep kicking it back to surrender and letting go. Surrender to your soul's path. Yes. You're on a path here of your purpose. Like I said, your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson and every moment. So this point of the journey is very turbulent, you know. It could feel very disorientating. We can use all sorts of things to sort of escape. And the ego plays a lot of tricks in order to maintain control. But spirit's power is greater than our fear, greater than the illusion. And so I feel like there is this intervening of whatever is creating the small energy or the egoic self or the stuckness or the misalignment. Spirit's saying, no, you have a greater calling. You have a soul's purpose. You have a path here. If you're your worst enemy right now, whatever you are doing that's getting in the way, I am going to show you. So it could be quite painful if we are staying in suffering, meaning resistance. And when we accept and trust spirit, it gets a lot easier, you know? It still happens, but it's easier to work with spirit. It's easier to accept and flow. So let's see. Spirits for pile number 4. What are they learning to release here? Or what obstacles are being removed from pile 4's world? What is opening up in their path here for pile 4? I feel there's one more. All right. So, wow, transformation. Yes. So at the end of this, you will be free. At the end of this, you will be a complete different person, you know, and you might think, I didn't want to be a different person, but it's like the ego's story, the ego's line, the fear talking, the control talking, you know, and I feel like this blue is really talking about the authenticity. And then it's like, how do I bring my authentic self into this 3D in order for me to drive from that, you know, not from ego, but from the authentic self. It's like aligning our purpose with that in which we're producing here in the 3D. Yeah, you guys are definitely on a beautiful spiritual journey of completely shifting your energy, becoming the creator here, okay, in the 3D form. Very freeing. So if you feel not free right now, it's the fear, it's the need for control, it's the feeling disorientated, the energy sort of shifting quickly. We're not really necessarily knowing where it's leading to or where it's going, you know, but trust. So reach out to spirit, know that spirit's got your back. Okay, power. Wow, look at this. So this could be Kundalini awakening. This could be like really waking up to the divine power within you. It's giving me Uranus energy, which is this Aquarius energy of the Fool, trusting the divine. So there might have been a real catalyzation of your awakening, you know. I don't know what it was. I'm seeing 2 lightning bolts here, so it definitely could be something that's I don't know, struck you multiple times. And it's very dark and cloudy here, you know? So you might be like really wanting to come out of this like dark period. And spirit just says like the storm doesn't last. The storm comes to wash away everything. But you're guaranteed like this beautiful freedom, this beautiful transformation. So this is going to be shifting for you guys, okay? Even if it does feel like, whoa, I'm in the middle of the storm. Purity, oh my goodness, yes. And look at, we're getting the 2 sort of colors again. There's the blue and the yellow. Here's the purple and the, I don't know if that's like teal. So purification, I'm really getting like transmutation with this purity. And temperance can be like definitely like transmuting energy. It's kind of giving me magician energy, but because I feel like spirit is, yeah, okay, this is what's coming through. With the magician, it's like early on in the major arcana, because the magician isn't didn't go down the path, the whole journey. Okay, because that's what the major arcana is. Starts with the Fool, and then it's the magician, and it goes on a whole journey. And so it has like all of these preconceived experiences, identities. It creates egos. It creates all sorts of things on its path. But early on, that magician can manifest knowing it's the creator. Okay, and so it creates from this more genuine place. It's like the alchemist. So I feel like what's happening here with the temperance, it's like spirit is the one getting involved. Otherwise, we would just be manifesting from fear, from ego, from control. And so I feel like this purity is talking about that in which isn't allowing you to be the alchemist, is being purified. So the authentic self, the pure self, only comes through when the ego is shed, when the false falls away, when the illusion falls away, when the fears, the control, that's what I mean by the ego, okay? And so it's like our attachment to experience is that in which is being removed, so that when we are able to manifest, it comes from a more authentic place. So we can become the magician. We can become that creator. And so this is why you must be in this like Fool energy, or spirit's putting you in this Fool energy, because you're starting from the major arcana. You know, I am nothing and I'm everything. It's like the paradox of everything spiritual here, because we know when we've reached this point of like transmutation of energy, it's like we're none of those things, but we know when we connect to spirit that we're all that exists. It's this paradox of energy. And starting from the Fool allows you to enter the magician energy, which then you become this master manifester. You can manifest from the pure self, from the authentic self, from this place that's not needing control, from your divine purpose. It feels very beautiful, but you're needing to see. And I also feel like there's two sort of, with these two things, it's like, it's not invalidating one, you know, because when we have this sort of awakening, it's like on a broader scale. We could see what we saw, but we see above it and all around it. And so there is no need to sort of control in that world or suffocate in that, like seeing it sort of in this microscopic lens. And so it's like being able to see beyond that. And so we could see the ego self, we could see the 3D self, and then we can see the spiritual self, or the unlimited self, the self that can connect to the divine without distortion, and maintain both and see both. Wow. That's quite the channel you're getting here. Pleasure, beautiful. So you are aligning with things that are pleasurable, but it's outside of the ego. Because I feel like when we are really aligned with the path, and look how similar these images are, when we're really aligned with the path, it is actual pleasure. It's not just getting by, you know, or like having to sustain, like when we're still battling, like with the 3D decisions, it's like we're trying to upkeep some sort of false world, or it's draining. It's not authentic. It's not true pleasure. It's like playing small. Like I said, it's like settling on a world that isn't necessarily your path. Wow, ascension with the stairs too, beautiful. And there's the archway, which could talk about like this transformation going from one place to another, and then fulfillment with pleasure. Oh my God, you guys. So what is happening? All of this energy that seems really, really intense, challenging, difficult, don't know if I could do it, painful, you know, it really feels like not good. This is shifting everything for you in order for you to align with your purpose, your fulfillment, your pleasure, your joy, to be completely soulfully complete here with authenticity. And you are going to transform this, so it stays with you forever. It's not something that then is going to be up and down like an ego, you know? Then this job changes, this thing changes. Now I'm depressed, or now I'm feeling without, or now I'm feeling lack, or now I'm back to the drawing board, or now I got to build it back up, or I got to attach to this or cling to that and make myself this or that. It's like, no, I'm already these things. And when I'm in all these things, or despite what's going on around me, I am fulfilled. And to be completely fulfilled, no matter who's around or what's around, and find pleasure in that exact moment, that is enlightenment. That is seeing, actually seeing reality for the first time as it truly is. So I feel there's a lot happening here in your 3D world, and you connecting with the divine here. So stronger divine connection. Your third eye might be really, really becoming very clear now, your truth might be coming through as speaking what it is that your true authentic self is wanting to say. And I feel like you're going to be more confident about your position coming through more and more and more. Okay. Also, I feel your connection to nature, to all of God's sentient beings, be it, garden, trees, animals, the outdoors. I feel like this might give you a lot of strength, seeing how you're connected to everything and everyone's connected. Yeah. So, wow. Pile number 4. This is quite the energy you have here. But I do feel like you're going to, like, this peach is really standing out. And I just heard bear good fruit, because at the core, it's like everything that is good at the core, like authentic in the core, can generate good fruit. And I think your fruit is your purpose, your calling, and what you'll produce here in the 3D. But if you weren't producing this good fruit because it was misaligned and there's too much illusion or black cloud here, it's like the fruit couldn't come. Whatever you were meant to produce couldn't come. So I feel like you're producing something, okay? When I say produce, I don't know, creating, birthing, manifesting, energetically being the magician here, okay? But I feel like you're having to start from sort of the beginning of the journey, again. But this time I feel like you're able to see, and you're going to be in an energy here that is workable with the spirit, so that we can release control. Okay, but there is something being created. It's not just for torture. It's not just for a shift, for the change of shifting and changing. It's like Spirit saying, like, you're going to produce something here that is meant to be here for others to enjoy, for others to attain pleasure. For you, it'll give you fulfillment to create this as well, because when we're of service to others, is very fulfilling when we're creating from this true authentic place. But when we create from the inauthentic place, like we grind for other, or like another world that's like not necessarily our world, it's expected of us. I identified with that world. And so I became someone here who wasn't truly me. And then I produced there. It's like taking away from you producing where your calling is. And this fruit is actually authentic fruit. This is more fulfilling for you, not playing small, not filling someone else's role, not settling or convincing yourself, or even believing that you're needing to stay in a different sort of role. It's like Spirit will know, So if you are feeling disassociating or like disconnected, or I don't know, your feet aren't touching the ground, you're feeling sort of a sort of way, the Spirit is saying, like, reach out and just talk to Spirit. Okay. And I know, like, when I went through something similar to this whole thing, Of course, your journey is your own. I literally put in my phone to like have communication with spirit. And I didn't even call it prayer, but you could call it a prayer for sure. It was like, I think it was called talk to God or something like this. Okay, whatever you're believing with. And it was really like, at first it just became like everything that was just going through my mind. I wasn't going to judge whether I was frustrated or happy or didn't understand something, whether tears came out or whatever. Anything that was going to come out was going to come out. And slowly it started turning into listening. Like I would talk, but then there was a lot of listening. Just like, okay, I'm going to sit, I'm going to put my hand on my heart, I'm going to listen to God. Because God already knows all the things that I was trying to say to God for so long, like I don't know how many months, like talk to God. And I was like, I'm listening. And then I started to really understand what God was like trying to get me to see. I was like, oh, if I would have listened rather than like because it was like sort of like a fighting for what I wanted, you know, it's like, God, like I'm a fighter. I'm going to get there. I'm like trying to like align that way. But it's like, no, I got to let God in, which means I got to receive, which means I got to just sometimes even like be silent, but we got to let it out first, you know, because we're not going to suppress. So it's like, let out whatever you're feeling to God. God is listening to you. And then it will turn into like, what does God want to tell you? What does God want to show you? And you'll know, because it'll come to you like through a knowing or a seeing or an understanding, you know? And then your decisions will be more aligned with authenticity, because God is really aligning you to create something here, some good fruit. Okay. Pile number 4, this is your reading. I hope this helped you. I love you very much. I'll see you at the next one. All right. Bye-bye.